Civilization is a vulnerable thing, a whim of circumstance. At any time, the smallest flap of a butterfly's wings may set catastrophe in motion. Haran, an entire city wiped from the map. Those left behind there did not stand a chance. The world's greatest minds came together and found a vaccine against the Haran virus. Finally, mankind had prevailed against the disease. But people always want more. Despite a promise to shutter its labs, the GRE continued its research in secrecy for military purposes. It didn't take long for a variant of THV to escape into the world once more. The fall happened more rapidly than anyone could have predicted. The few who survived now live in small enclaves. The only means of contact between distant human settlements are lone individuals, brave or desperate enough to travel on their own across dangerous wastelands. They are known as pilgrims. Somewhere on the map, one city is still standing. A city isolated from the outside world. A city with special rules. Now, it's the last bastion of humanity. A chance for us to learn from history. And for once, make the right choices. Because every choice you make here shapes the future. Irreversibly.
So, hello and welcome back to another round of Dying Light 2. To put it straight up, this is my third run. I'm not impressed of this game, but there are certain stuffs I wanna take a look at again, and yeah. First off, there's still one story path I wanna explore, which is the Red Way, where we backstab a lot of people. But more than not, I should probably say my piece about this game before we start, because it's quite negative, so it's possible that I won't talk much. Also, it's my third time playing the game, so most of my opinions are already out there. So this game is bad. This is even bad as a successor to the first one, because the first one already had a bad story. It compelling factor though was the overworld and the engaging side quests. Also, Dying Light 1 was the first game that did climbing mechanics, bouldering, parkouring really well. And that parkouring part will find its way back into this game. And it does it really nicely. But even what it had little of a story is even worse in this game. Yesterday, when I did my graphical test to see what settings now work, I thought about what characters do I really remember, and there's only one character, and that is that elite peacekeeper that will die in the television tower or radio tower. He's the only one that's that sticks. The And the reason why I don't remember his name is because I generally have a bad name memory. So, yeah, so I don't remember any names. But even so, the story has become even less engaging. I don't think it became worse as a whole, but it became less engaging for the player because of the overworld. Um, because there's so much trash just to do. The entire leveling process does not really give you a one-up over the enemies. The abilities that you have will give you that one-up over the enemies. But the enemies generally scale with your level. You are level 4, they are level 4. You are level 18, they are level 18. So actually, taking is my Achilles verse, taking a step back, just enjoying the overworld and looting a bunch of material for the next mission is not even diminishing the game's quality in this case, since the game scales with you. So, yeah. But that takes away a lot from the epic or legendary weapons you find, because they are also scaled to your level. So conserving them for a later state of game does not help. You should always take the best weapon that you have, mod it full out, and go for it, which is so bad in my opinion. It takes a lot away from the reward a player can feel for finding a legendary weapon. And then my biggest grief with this game is simply its graphics. I don't know if I will upload it to the YouTube's, possibly one of the last ones, where the big confusion came in, is that this game always maxes out my processor. And this was the very first game where I could not get a fix for it. Even limiting frames was giving me diminishing results. That is usually the way I would go about it. I always recommend limit your frames to get a better quality game. But this game would completely fucking wreck all of the hardware that I had. Now I definitely have a better setup. Sorry. Now I definitely have a better setup than the last time I played this. But these are the settings I'm gonna rock. And as you can see, even with the 2070 Super, I cannot rock all the ray tracing effects. Yeah, this is probably the this is the least impactful one. I can run the main one, which is nice, but in general, I always have to go down to the lowest settings of everything. Which is really infuriating, if you think about it. But well, I won't chip on about it more than this, because I did that just now. Also, one of the things the second biggest thing or gripe with this game is that its music is basically not there. It's such passive and unimpressive music that I always play my own music in the background because it's like, I remember especially that one stream I did for 2 hours where I would do a bunch of side missions, and suddenly this instrument, it's really difficult to describe. It's a bunch of metal strings, not a harp, but it's like a metal container that is usually used to make horror sounds, you know, the sudden rips and the ling sounds you would hear in horror movies or in mysterious areas. And they even tried to use that as a background noise, and it was so annoying. This game has probably the worst soundtrack I have ever heard, and if there's worse out there, I'm glad I didn't hear it. So what I recommend instead is someone called by the name of Tommy Prophet. I made some music playlists on my YouTube channel, but he has pretty nice tracks. You will probably be surprised how much you know his music, since his music is in some very nice movies and video games. So yeah, I especially like the playlists for this game that are called Epic or Slow Burn, since we are in an apocalyptic world and we are wanting to feel. We don't want to have that epic drum going all the time. We want to feel dread and fear. We want to get that feeling that this is not normal. So having constantly drum music or hectic music is not recommendable. Even so, Tommy Prophet's music is more melancholic, not melancholic, melodic. I think it fits really well into this game. Even so, I hate to make this conclusion because now every time I hear this music, I have to think about this game. But anyway, he's a great artist. I recommend listening to his soundtracks while we play this game.